Roll the camera. Okay.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1.
Kia ora, welcome to Brunswick Bulletin News. I'm Emma.
And I'm Laura. In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We helped them find it. And the latest in weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house, and before you think they know they have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky abode was built as a tourist attraction, as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on its roof, and has steel beams in the attic inside the house. There are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom, though it's not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally a house like this would take 3 weeks to build. This one took over 4 months because workers keep getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of feeling sick and dizzy after just a few minutes inside. We now cross over to our reporter Richard, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Richard?
Thanks, Emma. I'm here with the owner of the house, Holly, and I'm feeling great. So, what made you decide to build this upside-down house?
Well, I did think the world was kind of like dull and boring, so I thought that we should get an upside-down house. So I put my thinking cap on and thought of a great idea to build an upside-down house.
Fascinating. What comment do you think the house makes on the state of the world?
Well, I think it's creative, and people shouldn't be so posh and perfect and shy.
What are some of the challenges of living in a house where everything is upside down?
Well, it's like when I'm sitting down and watching TV on the couch, I just put my seatbelt on. It's like being in a car, except being upside down.
What do people think of you now?
Well, I think that I'm the top builder, but I just think I'm creative.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us. We are so thankful for you to join us. I'm Richard for the Brunswick Bulletin News. Back to you, Laura, in the studio.
Thanks, Richard. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that lights can be controlled using tiny crystals that makes objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible. One top scientist says, "The possibilities are endless and we are very excited." However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears, the inventor of the cloak said. It appears they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak. Here is our on-the-spot reporter Ashley with more on this story.
Hello, I'm Ashley, and with me is Georgia, and one of the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi Georgia, and thanks for joining us today. What made you want to invent the invisibility cloak?
Well, I just wanted to make something different and also add a bit of entertainment to the world.
Can you show me how the invisibility cloak works?
Sure.
That's a little bit weird and creepy. Can you take the cloak off, please?
Okay.
What do you hope the cloak will be used for?
I think it'll be quite fun. I hope it'll be used for fun things. So the children and maybe the teachers. The teacher will have a hard time, but I'm sure the children will have a lot of fun. So I hope it'll be used for fun and games.
Do you think the cloak will go far?
I'm pretty sure it will. It's not expensive, and it's, as I said before, you can play loads of games and also play tricks on people.
Well, that makes things very clear. Thanks for joining us. And we're out of time. Over to you, Emma, in the studio.
Thanks, Ashley. And now, how's this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country, thanks to the underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wall-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say the knitted activities of the gang are illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of woolen graffiti is growing, and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is growing, police say, and warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree lamppost and traffic light in the country will be warmly dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. They're a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said today. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both the public and the police. We go now to a secret location with our investigative reporter Richard, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Emma. I'm Richard, and joining me in this top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Tiari. And thanks for joining us. What led you into the dark underworld of knitted graffiti?
Well, my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandma used to own the Midnight Knitters, but she died, so I took over.
Can people actually live that long? Do you see yourself as a criminal? Why? Why not?
No! How dare you insult me like that?
Apart from trees, lampposts, and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolens?
The whole world. I plan to take over.
And as our final question, do you think you might be insane?
What?
Thanks for your time, Tiari of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go over to April with the weather update.
Thank you, Richard, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather. Starting in the far north, in Kaitaia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there will be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions. But those are the conditions and you'll have to accept them. There will be no weather at all for the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but is expected to be back for the weekend. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will sometimes be changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen. In the Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day with no highlights at all. It will be overcast and gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening. So don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all, and the day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim, and reading the newspaper. But try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfall, some sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms, and some very angry snow. And in the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty, cold, and unfriendly until late morning, when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. Now it's back to the news desk reporters, Emma and Laura.
Thanks, April. Well, that's all we have time for.
We hope you have enjoyed this evening's broadcast. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Until then, I'm Laura.
And I'm Emma for the Brunswick Bulletin News. Goodbye.
E nohora.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.